everyone, how you guys doing? Dad Dominators podcast. We're back and with an interesting topic. Now, this topic was Joan right? Now, was Joan right to actually save Ellie and take her away from the Fireflies so that they want to make a vaccine cure? There would be a price that comes along with that, and Joe knew that it would be, and it will haunt him later on down the road. So let me give you this in perspective. So in the live action series in The Last of Us, Neil mentioned that in one audience there's a side where they said that Joel was in the wrong, meaning he shouldn't have rescued Ellie. He should have left Ellie there and let them make the vaccine to save all humanity. On the other hand, there's another audience, and this other type of audience says that basically Joe wasn't right, and that draws the line between whether or not how debatable this was. Was it right or was it wrong, or was this parental instinct? I believe it was parental instinct. Now, let me tell you this. 20 years ago, Joe's daughter was the same age as Ellie, 14 years old. He lost her in the apocalypse when it first happened. She was actually shot. She was not infected. She was not bitten. She was shot by, it was probably a Federal soldier, actually, by the way. She was shot and killed. Joe lost her, and that was basically a day he gave up, like, on everyone except for Tess. He found love of his life, Tess, and both of them were like smugglers, and they were in love with each other. Well, that's what it didn't say that inside the video game, but it did say that in the live action series they're lovers and stuff. So they finally see Marlene. When they see Marlene, they want the guns or they want the car. In the game, it says that basically they need the guns because they're trading it with someone else. But that certain other person, Robert, he betrayed them and sold the guns to the Fireflies. In the live action series, what happened is that Robert was selling an engine for a car. But Marlene said, I'll do you even better. I'll give you a truck if you take Ellie and you take her to the Fireflies. And she told them, you're going to have to go through the city and smuggle her through. Tess and Joel were like surprised by this idea. They're like, is she insane? Like, seriously, what the hell is going on? Eventually, they found out and they knew what was going on, how Ellie was immune. She was this miracle cure for everyone, the whole world to see. Well, technically not the whole world, but only for the Fireflies to know about, basically. Because I'll get into Abby's father in a moment's notice. Because that's going to play into a huge role right here. And there's going to be another video of why Abby was in the wrong of killing Joel. And I'll explain that entirely in a different video and tell you why. And also why she was also kind of right in a certain way. Hey, alright, just hear me out in another video. I'll be talking about that probably like tomorrow or so. Okay, so anyways, what I was trying to say is that Tess, she died. Yes, she was actually bitten. In the game, it said that some hunters, I believe, they're about to kill her, and she had to stand her ground, and she had to take them out. Like buys Joe and Ellie some time to escape, and she ended up dying. It was her final wish. Now, in the live action series, a whole horde was coming after them, and they needed to go to the hospital, St. Mary's Hospital. That's where the Fireflies, one their main base was at, actually. So they're planning on going there. And Tess, well, that was her also last final wish for Joel. Joel lost someone, the second person, basically. He lost his daughter, and then he lost his love of his life, Tess. Now he's stuck with this other 14-year-old girl that is a resemblance to his daughter. Eventually, they grew fond of each other. Joel was sort of a father figure towards Ellie. Ellie sort of saw that inside Joel as well. Another reason why is because when Ellie actually saved Joel's life when she shot and killed some hunter, to save Joel's life. We then, the audience, found out that Ellie is basically similar. She's just like Joel. This is the first time she has tasted like darkness in her life, and now we get to see the two of them actually are in action together and just fighting, killing, and trying to survive throughout this. And they're perfect duo, perfect partners to, well, I say they're like survivalists. No longer smugglers at all at the moment's notice. So, all this time when they're traveling all the way across this country, Joe kept on mentioning that basically when all this is over, you're coming back with me. Like, there's no way I'm leaving you here. Downside is that the Fireflies, they had a different mindset plan because they found out that in order to make this cure, this vaccine, Ellie had to die. Yeah, they had to kill Ellie. So Marlene said that Joel needs to find out. He traveled all the way half across the whole road with, not across the road, but the country with Ellie. So Marlene had to tell him. And Marlene saw it in Joel's eyes. She said, look, I know how much you care about her. I can see it. Because Marlene, she kind of cares more about Ellie a little bit more than Joel. Because Marlene knew Ellie's mother. She knows the truth of what happened and why Ellie is actually immune. She is the one who actually protected Ellie, like, from the shadows. She put Ellie inside Fedra. She wanted Ellie to be, like, kept safe. Like, that was also her mom's last wish as well. How Ellie became immune was because her mother, she was actually she was infected while she was still pregnant and labored, and she actually gave birth to Ellie alone in a safe house, alone. Yeah. So she was infected, but Ellie was still inside her when she got pregnant, basically. Not pregnant, when she gave birth, basically. Ellie was world's hope. Marlene didn't know that at the time, but she put the pieces together and eventually she found out that, yeah, she's really special. This one is. And she does care a little bit more about Ellie than Joel does, but you can see the two of them where it's really hard and difficult for them to actually realize that this is great, making a cure to save mankind, but then again, it's going to take away an innocent life, and she doesn't deserve that at all. She also had a lot of questions too and stuff. So she understands Joel's perseverance of why he was attached to her, this bond they had. She knew that, yeah, he was like a father figure to him. So was Joel in the wrong saving Ellie? They're about to kick him out. He gave Ellie to the Fireflies. They didn't give him a car. They didn't give him his guns at all. They're literally going to kick him out, basically. So, Joe's last thinking is that I can either leave out here right now and go back probably like to Jackson and see Tommy, or I could do something about this. This is my second chance. I lost my daughter 20 years ago. Ellie, she's a resemblance of my daughter. If I could, there could be only one way. How I can save myself. Save my soul. Even Joe said it inside the game. He said, if the Lord let me do this again, he'd do it all over exactly. And there's consequences that came with that, and he accepted those consequences. He knew it was going to haunt him down later and long in life, whether or not he saved Ellie's life or not. So yeah, he chose to save Ellie's life, but in the process of saving Ellie's life, he had no choice. He had to kill a lot of fireflies just to get to her. Now Abby's father. Okay, let me tell you this. So Abby's father was actually a neurologist. A neurologist is it's a specialist that is with surgery and with the brainal tube in the capsule. Because in order to make a vaccine virus, they had to dig inside Ellie's head and remove the capsuling. It's a complicated situation. That's why they needed him, because he was the best of the best. Since Joe did kill Abby's father, the main doctor, because he was the only neurologist inside the Fireflies, the only person that could actually make a cure. Since he's dead now, since Joe took Ellie away and stuff, the Fireflies are like, it's pointless. Even if we find the smuggler and Ellie, most likely we're not going to be able to make a vaccine cure because the doctor's dead, Abby's father's dead, the neurologist is gone and stuff. So what's the point in that? And so that's what they did. They stopped and they didn't want to pursue Joel, but thing is that did Joel have to kill Marlene? Yeah, he had to kill Marlene. Because the thing is that Marlene, she would have come after Ellie because Marlene, she's pretty stubborn in her own ways, and I'm pretty sure that she will want revenge too. But by him killing Marlene, killed the Fireflies as well. The Fireflies turn into WLF, turn into wolves and stuff. But that's a final thing. So that's why I think Joe was in the right. I believe that, yeah, he did the right thing by saving Ellie. If I was in Joel's footsteps, like if I was in his position, hell yeah, I would save Ellie. I would do the exact same thing Joe did. I would kill all those sons of bitches that stood in my way just to get to her. This is like a pendant, basically, I guess you could say. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this little short podcast. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. And yes, I'll see you all in the next one.